So I'm gonna make a video because I don't need a reason to make a video. I'm gonna grab my computer. So I've been wanting to do the painting. Where are my pictures? Sorry. I've been wanting to do a painting of. That's not it. I've been wanting to do a painting of this place. So this isn't the picture, but this is the place. It's Dripping. Oh, hello. It's Dripping Springs. It's just south of Austin, or it's near Austin. That's not the picture though. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's this one. I don't know. There's like a little kid like sitting. Is this the right one? No. Sorry. There's a guy next door working in the yard. There's like a little kid like sitting here. I thought it was really cute. So I'm gonna start by drawing it out in Sharpie. And then I'm gonna do it in acrylic, which I typically don't do big paintings in acrylic, but this is what we're doing today. So I'm going on a big trip. Well, not big trip, but I'm going on a trip to Missouri here in the next like 48 hours. And Abba, what are you doing, buddy? Is there somebody else in here next door? Yeah, so I'm just trying to get like, and my husband's gone right now, so I'm just like, oh, I don't like it when he's gone. Because every noise, the boys are just like, oh, is that Dad? Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down. And just kind of like get some general ideas. So this is like water. And our trip to Dripping Springs was really cool. But there's like a lot of rocks. And I don't really do a lot of rock work. There's like a little dude right here, so we're gonna leave that space empty. Some grass. Tree. And then like a mountain. The hill in the background. It's actually pretty hard. It was pretty hard to get up there. You had to climb a lot of rocks. Yeah, so like that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not trying to like, there's some rocks back here and whatnot. And then like this is water. This is water. That kind of helps me figure out where the water is. And then like there's trees over here, and then this is a tree. This is a tree. And it kind of goes out like that. And then there's like a hill right there, and that's it. I'm not going to do too much more than that drawing wise. Just because I really want to get some work done in the painting department. So I bought some new paints. They're just apple barrel paints. Probably not the best quality, but I'm just figuring this stuff out with acrylic, so I'm not trying to break the bank. Oh, okay. not cleaned off my palette from when I was oil painting, so I'm using wax paper to do this. Anyway, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm choosing just like general colors. This is not something I typically do. Ooh, not something I typically do. See, like I haven't even used this color yet. I am an oil painter by trade, oil painter by practice. I spent a long time doing oil, and I just don't enjoy it as much anymore. It's too, it's really harsh on your lungs and on your body, and it requires a lot of like attention to detail. It takes a long time to dry, and I'm just not feeling that anymore. I don't like it taking that long to dry. And honestly, like I've been really tired of like my body hurting after I paint. So I haven't been doing as much oil painting because I do feel like that need. It's almost like my body remembers, like, oh yeah, you did this for hours and hours and hours and hours. You know, at night in high school. So like this is the body posture that you need is like this hunched over, like, oh, I gotta do this like and I don't enjoy it like that anymore. I don't enjoy painting like that. So first of all, I'm gonna paint the sides because I don't typically paint the sides because I would hope that the person who would be purchasing this would be framing it, but I'm learning that that's not always the case. So I'm also painting differently. So like typically I'm like a pencil kind of person, but just finding new ways to do the same thing, you know? To do something similar. You'll just have to ignore him if that's, Bubba does that. My dog does that. He just kind of growls at noises, you know how dogs are. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm gonna make this tree like see-through. I know that there's like, it's like a dead tree, so maybe I'll just put some like little, it's like dead and like mostly brown and red. And it's like almost bush-like and more or less tree-like. So I've been doing looser, more natural stuff just because I'm like just kind of bored of like sitting down and like doing, like I've been doing these home portraits for like a long time. I've probably done more than a dozen of them, which seems like it wouldn't be a long time, but like I'm a teacher, so I only really do them over the summer. But I've been doing them for a long time, and like since the pandemic, and I'm just kind of bored of them a little bit. There's like a lot of trees on the top. Like this is kind of, it's not smooth. It looks smooth, but it's not smooth. So I'm gonna just like throw some color up here. Maybe use a little bit of water. Just spread it around. Let me get this side. Yeah, I'm not enjoying oil painting. I am enjoying watercolor a little bit more, but not as much as acrylic because I've been doing like, I have this painting that I've worked on. Hold on. I did this painting, and I love this painting. Like, I don't even know, like, if somebody wanted to buy it, I don't know if I would give it to them. Just because it's like my first really good use of acrylic. Like there's depth, and I've never been able to acquire depth or to like show depth in acrylics, and this is just like I love it so much. So I got some paper, which I'm typically like a canvas kind of person, but we're learning. We're learning that not everything has to be on a canvas. Like oil on paper is a thing, which is crazy. Not the best looking, but we're gonna move through it. We're gonna give it its time to be not so great. This is really a great lesson in like just like patience with yourself. Like I can't imagine trying to like, there's so much about like the world, like the earth, like natural looking things that are just like so not perfect. And like whenever you sit at a desk and or whenever I sit at my easel, I'm just like, I gotta do like every little line perfectly, and I'm just like over that. I'm just not here for that anymore. I'm also probably mumbling, but that's okay. And some sand. No, it's like rocks. There's like some rocks down here. Oops. That's okay. I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts lately that have been like really inspiring me to just like loosen up my work and to like stop just like harshly judging my artwork and like hating it before it's even done. Like, you know, like it's just too much. Like it's too much to actually like not enjoy it. Like there's too much going on. Like you need to focus on just like letting go and like letting it be what it's gonna be before you hate it. Like you can't just like go into it with like, ugh, I'm gonna hate this, because then it's not gonna work for you. Like you're never gonna like it if you start out hating it, you know? Which I'm sure somebody would disagree with me on that. Somebody might say like, oh well, I actually hated most of my work and then I came back to it and I actually love it. I probably would agree with that too. So there's like 3 levels. So like there's this water level, there's this like middle level that's like the mid, you know, mid ground, and then the background is like up here, and it's very little sky. In this picture, which I actually kind of like because I get like all stressed out about making sure the sky looks good, you know. So I'm going to Missouri on a trip with Young Life. It's actually their middle school group, their wildlife group of kids, and I don't know anybody except for a few of the adults, but I don't know any of the kids. Some of them might even go to my school, I'm not sure. I haven't actually started at my new job yet. I start in August, but there's, you know, just some kids there that I don't know, and there's going to be some adults there that I do, which is really exciting. But it's in the, like, it's on a lake, and I don't do large bodies of water very well. So I'm like excited, but I'm also like slightly terrified, which is great. Like to just kind of lean into that and like let it be what it's gonna be, you know? Like I'm gonna try my best to like have a really good time and like get in the water or whatever. But I'm just not good with, see, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. It's too early to add white. But I don't do water very well. Like I don't do like large open bodies of water where like snakes and stuff are available, or you're available for snakes, or fish or whatever. I don't know. I'm not very good with that kind of stuff. This is not terrible, but it's really thin. That's the only problem, is that like I'm used to doing like if my work is thin, it's usually like the under layer, and it's like way thinner than this. So maybe I need to add some blue to like lighten it up a little bit. And of course my blue is not open either. I really did just get like a ton of new paint. This like Apple Barrel brand. I got it from Joann's. I was looking for some acrylic paint that wasn't gonna, I have some Blick and I have some Master's Touch, but this has some newer like colors that I just never would even like consider purchasing. So I purchased them because I was like, oh, what am I gonna do with that color? And then instead of thinking of it like, oh, what am I gonna do with that color? I was like, well, what could I do with that color? Like, where could I put that? Where do I see that color? And, you know, I feel like lately, you know, the last couple of years I've been pouring into my kids, like my students, you know, the whole like be positive about your work, and you know, like don't be so mean to yourself. See, that's not the color I want, but it'll work for now. It's just like I've been pouring into my kids and then like not taking that advice myself. Like I've been doing that for so long with my middle school kids that like now I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't need to like actually worry about it. Like I'll tell my kids sometimes like, oh, don't, you know, it's just middle school art. Like don't worry about it being like perfect or whatever. But then like I forget that I don't have to worry about it even as an adult. I don't have to worry about it even as like an adult. Like who cares? If you don't like this video, you already stopped listening to me. Like you've already checked out. So like whatever. It's just like virtual therapy, which is fantastic. Telehealth. Go in for telehealth. This kind of matches my nails. Yeah. So I've been listening to these podcasts about, you know, like your art and, you know, like just how to keep doing your art without hating yourself. Like how to do art in today's society without just like selling out or without feeling like you have to do what everybody wants you to do. Like you can make art that's yours and you don't have to sell out. You don't have to do what you don't want to do. And you know, like the other day, yesterday actually, I like was painting something. I was painting a picture of some flowers. This actually, I was working on this. And it's just like a picture that I took of some flowers at, you know, my local botanic garden. And like no big deal. Nobody cared, like I don't care, nobody cared. I literally just like took this picture and I was like, I want to paint this picture now. You know, like I want to paint it. I have this weird little wooden canvas thing that I got just on a whim and hadn't used. I've had it for like 2-3 years. Finally used it. And like halfway through the painting, I'm just like in tears because I've had so much poor talk, like poor self-talk for like the past hour doing it. Then I had already like written off the idea of like somebody even liking it. Like I had already told myself like, oh, well, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I was in so much distress, like so stressed out and so sad like about this painting that like I did on a whim. Like it wasn't commissioned. Nobody asked me to do it. I was just doing it for like what should have been fun. And just like started crying. Like I called my husband, he was at work, and he has a very loose schedule, so I wasn't actually bothering him. But like I called him and I'm just like, nobody's even gonna want this painting. Like nobody wants it. And he was like, so? Is that why you do this? So that people like you? Or do you wake up in the morning thinking about painting because you love to do it? You know, like why do you love to why do you wake up and like pull out your sketchbook? You're like, nobody's paying you to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, pull out your sketchbook and sketch. Like that's what you do when you eat breakfast, which I do. Like most days of the week, that's what I do. I wake up, I have my coffee, and I do a little sketch of like a bird or whatever, or a picture on my phone. And I was just like, you know what? You're right. Like I don't need to worry about this. Do I want somebody to love it? Yeah. Do I have to have somebody love it? No. My husband loves my artwork. I don't actually ask him. Like I know that he says that he loves it, but I don't actually know if he likes the style because my style changes a lot. So I think he's just kind of like goes with the flow. He's just like, oh, we like birds now. Okay. You know, or like I used to do home portraits all the time, so I was doing like architectural paintings, and he was like, okay, we like buildings now. All right, cool. See, I like this now. I've added the blue. I've added this like seafoam green color, and I actually really like it now. See, sometimes all you need is a little bit of blue. And I do like the colors to be smooth, and I'm trying to move away from that. Like I actually don't like want to be painting it so tightly. I'm gonna actually do something real quick. I have these like little pegs that I can like pull out, and I can like lean my canvas up. And so like right now I'm just gonna do that so I can get my edges. And see, like acrylic paint isn't like toxic to my, I mean it's toxic to you if you eat it, so like don't eat it. But like I can actually breathe. I can be in here for longer amounts of time. I can paint for longer. That's kind of cool. If you didn't know that it was what it is, like I could have just flipped it and nobody would even know. See, like this could be like water, this could be sky, and this could be a mountain, right? Kind of cool. Whatever. Because this is about to be brown. Like this section right here is about to be brown. Oh, that's kind of So let me flip this around. So what I've done is I flipped the canvas upside down, but like, this is the picture. So I added this is up here now. So I just kind of flipped it, but I'm gonna flip it back around and just kind of look at it from back here. See, that looks so much better. Just in general, like, you can already see that it's like coming back together. Like this color, I didn't like this color at first, and now I'm like, it looks really good next to that. See, like it's the same color as my nail. That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna put you back over here. And adjust it. So yeah, that's what we're working with right now. I'm also working on this painting. So this is a painting that's kind of like three-dimensional. It kind of goes all the way around the canvas. It's a flower that I saw at the Botanic Garden. I think I already said that. And then I'm working on this commission. This commission is obviously a home portrait, and so I've got to do the plants and the grass. But like, and then this is a brick house, so like this will be brick, and then this will be like stonework. Yeah. I just wanted to kind of show some stuff around the room. I had to kind of adjust some things. So like this table used to be right here, and then my like, let me back that up. So that table was here, this little corner table was like right there, and then this table kind of moves around, and then my cart had like all my paints on it. But now my paints are up on the wall. So like my acrylics and then my oils, I don't have as many oils, so they're just in a box over there. So I wasn't enjoying the boxiness. So I spread everything out. So now I can kind of like move around the room and paint instead of just focusing on one thing. And then this whole area is typically cleaner, but I've got my calendar up, my repotted sad monstera. I don't know if it's sad or if it's just like the pot, I don't know. If you know anything about monsteras that I haven't already learned on YouTube that obviously is not working, please let me know, because I can't get my monstera to look good. His name is Gabe. He just doesn't want to look good. He's just a sad boy. But yeah, I'm gonna work on this for a little bit more, and then probably pack. I'm gonna do some packing for my trip. Let me see how that looks. Maybe there. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, so I've been working with acrylics. I've been trying to do more like loose work. I'm trying to incorporate colors that I typically wouldn't. So like this blue color, I would never, like when I bought this color and I brought it home, my husband came in my office and he saw all my new paints, and I was like, look, I got these new colors. I'm really excited to use them. And he was like, whoa, that's like not the color palette that I thought you would get. Like, where's all the green? And I was like, well, I got two greens. Like, I got these two greens. And he was like, yeah, but like, where's the emerald green? Like, where's I love the color green. It's my favorite color. I love being out in nature and seeing all the different shades of green. And I just, like lime green is hardly ever seen in nature. So I was just like, I don't want lime green. But then I got some and I love it. And it's great. And I use it a lot now. I really enjoy it. Nice spiky water. kid here. He's just chilling in his little yellow shirt. See, I'm not even really like trying to make it look like the picture so much as I'm just trying to like color block. That's something I would do with oil, is I would do this underpainting in like all brown, like a burnt umber. I would use burnt umber or burnt sienna, and I would like, you know, like not tone it down, but I would add a whole bunch of solvent to it, and then I would, you know, like kind of draw with it, and it would be like, I would fill in like the darkest areas with the most pigment, and then the lighter areas would be, sorry, we've got like foam pieces in here. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit finicky. My canvas, my easel is kind of finicky. So I would like, you know, with oil paint, I would almost be like drawing with the paint, but this, I want to just do like big swatches of color, and then I'll come in with different, you know, like textures and stuff afterwards. Then I need some yellow and some more paper towels. Some cadmium yellow deep hue. Yeah, so I'm gonna use this yellow. This little kid's wearing a yellow shirt, so my computer actually just fell asleep, so that's okay. I'm gonna just on them right now. And the thing that I never even thought. Okay, so this is groundbreaking for me. I don't have to paint from pictures. You would be so surprised to know how many years old I was when I found that out. I mean, I know people draw from imagination, and that's fine, and I probably, you know, should apologize to some of my students from the last couple of years. But you do not have to paint from a photo or from life. You can just paint for the heck of it. He's wearing blue jeans, so I'm gonna put a couple little dots of blue, and I might add some blue to this teal I got going on here. He's kind of like sitting like legs out. I'm also trying to paint with bigger brushes. Like I'm changing a lot about the way that I paint, and I don't really care if anybody likes it. Like this is just the way that's gonna be. Like I'm really enjoying it. This popped. And then add some of this blue to my watercolor. Color for my water. And I'll need more color out of the water. It's just crazy. Like I used to just use, like even my abstract, some of my abstract stuff, like is not abstract. Like I've abstracted a picture that I took for a picture that I found, and turned it into an abstract picture, but it's not like abstract. It's not something that I just like took out of my head and put on canvas. It's not like AbX where it's like abstract expressionism. It's just a picture that I took that I like, you know, decided. Look at that really loaded brush. that I like decided I was gonna turn into like this painting. And you know, now I'm like, well, what do you mean I don't have to use a picture? What do you mean? I don't have to do that? I don't have to be like representational? I don't even have to be like purposeful with the brush strokes? Like I can just, yep, you can. Absolutely you can. Now, I went to school for art history, so like I know so much about like salon history and like how paintings are sold and how paintings are made and why they're made, and you know, like who paid for them and how much the church wanted them for and what are they for and what do they actually mean and all that stuff. And like I don't care so much anymore, or I care so little now about what, you know, like what they mean, like what the paintings mean. They don't have to mean anything, you know, like at all. They don't have to do anything for anyone. They can just be a painting for like the heck of it. See, like this water would be like killing me right now. Like I would hate this water because it doesn't look like water. But like, it looks like water. I'm about to put some like, you know, highlights in the water. And I always got caught up with like people who would just like say things like, oh, that's not art, or like whatever. Like, who are you to tell me, to tell anyone, not just me, like I don't have any authority. But I'm just like, I absolutely have no authority like over life or anything, or art, especially on art. But like, who are you to tell me that this isn't art? Like, who is this imaginary person in my brain to tell me that this isn't art? Like, that's like, anything that you do can be considered art. Like, we are created to create. We are created to create and to love, and that's it. Like, if we are doing what we're doing and we love it and we are doing it to the glory of God, like that is the end all be all. Like, that is it. And when I was in this place, I felt closer to God than I ever had. You know, like before that, this place is so beautiful. And, you know, like I wish I had the time then to like prop this canvas up and do it then. I'm gonna do some of the sky. The sky's not so green, so I'm gonna just do this light blue jean color, this color, but I'm gonna do it with some white, so it's not quite so green. And I'm just gonna like slap that on there. Maybe a little bit more blue. And then do these edges. Yeah, I'm actually like really not liking canvas lately. Like, it's so much more work than doing it on paper. I might just start like buying canvas rolls. Canvas rolls are like probably a lot cheaper, and then, you know, like if I can just cut it and then flatten it, you know, or just lay it flat or hang it or whatever, frame it and just let it be, you know, and I don't have to like take out a whole new mortar, like I don't have to worry so much about storage. I can just lay it, put it in my portfolio. Oh, but here's something again. Yeah, it's a little best idea, but you know, it works. Oh, what are you barking at? What are you growling at, buddy? I'm gonna slap some white in there. It's a little too blue. It's a little too blue. Abba. Sorry, I know you're like, I know I'm like not even facing the canvas that much. This is like really, really choppy up here at the top, so I'm just gonna like I'm not gonna care. I don't want to care about what that line is supposed to look like. I'm sure it's supposed to look like something else, but that looks really good. I'm happy with it. Looks awesome. I almost just painted my computer screen. And see, I've done this whole painting with one brush. One whole brush. Put some more of this green in here. My husband is on a trip right now with a couple of high school kids. So like be praying for him. Yeah, he is taking them on a backpacking trip with his work. He does ministry to high school kids. Basically a youth pastor without being a youth pastor. And so now he's about to go on it's actually 5 days that he's gonna be doing the backpacking part, but he's gonna be gone for about 9 days because he's driving in Colorado. So that's fun. And then I will be in Missouri. So, see, that looks good. We're getting there. We are getting there. And I might just I need some red. This crimson color. See, look, I have all of these. I'm just not using them. I mean, I don't, it's not like I'm never using them ever, but now I've got some Master's Touch crimson. I'm just gonna put a little bit of something there because now I'm gonna add some green to it. Some English ivy green, which is basically just this color. Just mix that together a little bit with some yellow and ultimately some white. Okay, and now I've got this really pretty brown color. A little bit more white. Now I've got this really pretty brown color that I'm gonna loosen up with some water. And like I said, this tree is red. I don't really know why it's red. So there's some some contrast there. talking a lot. Like in my head, literally just now, I was like about to say, I'm sorry that this is basically just a paint with me session. Like I'm just kind of standing here painting, and then I was like, well, if you're not enjoying it, you wouldn't be here anyway. You know, like you're not listening to me if you don't like this. Nobody's making you watch this video, and that's like kind of amazing, because you know, if this was like a school project, you would be like required to watch this whole thing, you know, like you would be gonna put some, I don't really know what that is. The tree is kind of more like a bush. Like there's a bunch of vertical trunks that are like thin. And then it's mostly sand over here. So or not sand, but like rock. And then I'm gonna add some grass in a minute, because there is some grass over here, but it's mostly, sorry, for the rumble. Thunder, hear the thunder, lightning and thunder. Sorry. See, did it again. Sorry. I do that all the time. I literally like make myself sick with how much I apologize. Like I find myself apologizing, and my husband will be like, or I'll apologize for something. Like somebody will have run into me at the grocery store, and I'll say sorry, and they're like, my husband's like, why did you just apologize to them for running into you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm being polite, I guess. And he's like, no, you're being submissive. You're like taking fault for something you didn't do. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, whatever. same thing. Being polite and taking ownership of something that you didn't do. Probably not the same thing. I'm sure my therapist will see this video and be like, can we talk about that? Because it's not right. I've also got like this light coming in, but it's not the best. So I'm trying to like really just let the lines be what they're gonna be. And then I'm gonna go in and add in more on top. There's actually like one tree. I remember that tree at the corner or the edge. And see, like in my brain, I already want to like clean it up. Like I want to take a Sharpie or take like a black with a small brush, and like make it finer, like make the details more fine, so that you're not like, oh, she only knows how to do color and like that. I'm like, no, I'm actually not going to do anything to it. I'm gonna add some little pinky brown colors to this rock right here. I'm gonna look at this picture real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's like a little bit of brown right there. There's a little bit of some like striations going this way. And then this bush is like red, and there's some red up here. It's so funny, there's like where this tree is like the tiniest little bit of green patch, like grass. That's it. That's the only spot that has green in it. I have some more green. And it's like this green. Like it is bright green. And it's still kind of wet right here, so I might have a hard time. That's like neon green, so we're gonna tone it down. Just a little bit of red. Just so it's not like Crayola green. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so I miscolored this area. This is supposed to be like green right here. Like that's it. Yeah. That's it. That's the green patch. There's like a little bit of green you can see through the bushes. There's like no bright green anywhere else. That's it. That's so funny. Well, that didn't work. I think that's all I'm gonna do for right now. I'm gonna come back to it later. Yep. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust this. Thanks for hanging out with me. That's it. I'm really just trying to get a little bit of some painting in before I go on this 5-day trip. So that was it. I really just wanted to take you on this little journey. So thanks for hanging out. This is my little friend. Alright, thanks guys. I'll come back and finish it after I get back from Missouri.